Hey there, future fellow weirdo of the flock. How are you? No, do not weary. You are not lost. Do not weary. Do not weary. Because you are in our place. Way better than Bizarre World. Way stranger than the Twilight Zone. You had to hit the fork in the road.
I love it. You guys are so great.
And then you had to take the only way, which is the right. And you rolled right into the only building this side of the universe. The most offensive church. The party pen. We clap for you. Yeah. And what we do here in this most amazing place, we read this great ass book. It's called God Said, because God did not say that. And you can fight me if you want to. But he did not say that. I want to tell you what he did say. And it was not that. Shut up, Jimmy. It was not that. So, that's what we do here. So, if that sounds totally fucking fun to you, come on in and take a seat. And I will tell you where we are. So, Moses is going over the history and the rules and all of these things. And then he gives them a blessed curse. And he tells them they got to write it on two different rocks. Right? And then he gives them sacrifice rules. But I'm not exactly sure because he says you have to sacrifice in a place God chooses. But God doesn't choose a place until after Solomon. So are they sacrifice in their own little parishes with their Levites? I think that's what happens. Not exactly sure. But anyway, we're picking up somewhere in the middle of that shit. We'll be at the end of it soon. Don't worry. Don't worry. So come this way. I have everything you need to start your evening off right. I have cannabis, cigarettes, coffee, chairs with your name on it, cat beds, and canine space. So come on and get comfy because there's also covers. So many C's. Yeah. Anyway, it'll be totally fun. So come out, hang out with your super stoned sage. Yeah, it'll be totally great. I am Saint Nikki K the Great, and I do good job, and I have good time. So, let's do it. We're on chapter 13. I guess I should be watching for comments or something, right? That is comments. Okay. So people should be here. Oh, I should have shared this. Oops. No, do not leave the site. What the fuck am I doing? Oh yeah, Joe Biden's sick or something. Yay, couldn't happen to a better guy. So let me share this places. You know what song's stuck in my head? Walking on broken glass. Annie Lennox. Walking on broken glass. I don't even know why that shit's stuck in my head. Because I don't know. It's totally 80s and I'm not into 80s. Even if it's not 80s, it sounds 80s. And I'm totally okay. So let's see. All right. So now it's shared in places. So let's see. Maybe the girls will show up. All right. We are on chapter 13. If there arises among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and he gives you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder comes to pass, of which he spoke to you, saying, let us go after gods, which you have not known, and let us serve them. You shall not listen to the words of that prophet or dreamer. For the Lord your God is testing you to know whether you love the Lord with all your heart and all your soul. And you shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice. You shall serve him and hold fast to him. But that prophet or dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken in order to turn you from God, who brought you from Egypt and redeemed you from bondage, to entice you from the way which God has commanded you. So you shall put away the evil from your midst. Man, this is wild. Okay. If your brother, the son of your mother, or the son of your daughter, any of your family or people, secretly entices you, saying, let us go serve other gods, which you have not known, neither you nor your fathers, of the gods of the people, which are all around you, near to you and far from you, from one end of the earth to the other. You shall not consent to him or listen to him, nor shall your eye pity him, nor shall you spare him or conceal him, but you shall surely kill him. Your hand shall be the first against him to put him to death, and afterward everybody else. And you shall stone him with stones until he dies, because he sought to entice you away from God, who brought you from Egypt, from bondage. So all the vampires shall hear and fear, and not again do such wickedness as this among you. Dun, dun, dun. If you hear someone in one of your cities, which the Lord God gives you to dwell in, saying, corrupt men have gone out from among you and enticed the inhabitants of their cities, saying, let us go and serve other gods which you have not known. When you shall inquire, search out and ask diligently, And if it is indeed true and certain, such an abomination was committed among you, you shall surely strike the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, surely destroying it and all that is in it, even its animals, with the edge of the sword. And gather the plunder into the middle of the street, and completely burn with fire the city and the plunder for the Lord your God. It shall be a heap forever and not built again. So no accursed thing shall remain in your hand, and that the Lord may turn the fierceness of his anger from you, and show mercy and compassion on you, and multiply you, just as he swore to Abe, Isaac, and Jake, because you listened to the voice of God, to keep all his commandments, which I command you today to do what is right in the eyes of the Lord your God. Dun, dun, dun. I wonder where my cousin is. I bet his first day of work made him so tired. Today was his first day of work. I bet he was so tired. Yep. I wonder where Feather is. It's about that time for people to show up. At least I thought that yesterday, and then nobody showed up. But the other day, everybody showed up at like 10. Or did they show up at 10:30? I think it was 10. Well, I hope it's 10. Because I have this wig on for Drunken Wizard. Because I'm all sagey. So I hope they show up. Okay. You are the children of the Lord your God. You shall not cut yourselves, nor shave the front of your head like the Shaolin monks. For you are a holy people to your God, and he has chosen you to be a people for himself, a special treasure above all people who are on earth. You shall not eat any detestable thing, and these are the animals which you may eat. We already read this. I'm not reading it again. It's chapter 14 until chapter or verse 21. You shall not eat anything that dies of itself, but you can sell it to a stranger or a foreigner, but not you guys. Do not boil a goat and its mother's milk. You shall you shall truly tithe all the increase of your grain that the field produces year by year. And you shall eat before the Lord your God in the place where he chose to make his name, the tithe of your grain and your new wine and your oil, of the firstborn of your herds and flocks, that you may learn to fear God, your God, always. But if the journey is too long for you, till you are not able to carry the tithe, or if the place where the Lord your God chose to put his name is too far, then when the Lord your God has blessed you, then you shall exchange it for money. Take the money in your hand, go to the place which God chose and spend that money on whatever your heart desires, for oxen, for sheep, for wine, or similar drinks, whatever your heart desires, and you shall eat there before the Lord your God, and you shall rejoice, you and your household. You shall not forsake the Levite who is within your gates, for he has no part or inheritance with you. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, man, here we go. At the end of every 3rd year, you shall bring out the tithe of your produce of that year and store it within your gates. And the Levite, because he has no portion with you, and the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, who are within your gates, oh, may come and eat and be satisfied, that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work of your hand which you do. Man, nobody's here yet. Well, we're on chapter 15. Okay. So, chapter 15 is about the 7 years. Every 7 years, you forgive debts. Okay. And it's like, don't be an asshole. Okay. So then, if your brother, a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman, is sold to you and serves you 6 years, then in the 7th year you let him go. And when you send him away, do not let him go away empty-handed. You shall supply him liberally from your flock, from your threshing floor, and your winepress, from what the Lord God has blessed you with. You shall give to him. You shall remember that you were a slave once, and your God redeemed you. Therefore, I command you this thing today. But if he happens to say, because you're holding his wife and kids hostage, if he says, I want to live with you forever, then you give him an earring. And it's the same for the lady servant. All the firstborn males that come from your herd of your flock, you shall sanctify. You shall do no work with the firstborn of your herd or flock, and you and your nor shear the firstborn. You and your household may eat it before the Lord your God, year by year, and the place which the Lord chose. But if there is a defect in it, if it is lame or blind or any serious defect, you shall not sacrifice it to the Lord your God. You may eat it within your gates. The unclean and the clean person alike may eat it, as if it were a gazelle or deer. Only do not eat its blood. You pour that out on the ground like water. I'm way funnier on 2 times speed. I just want to let you know. I'm going to give you a second to catch up. I know I want to smoke this cigarette. Because we're going on to chapter 16. We're flying through this pretty fast, aren't we? Yep, we are. See what I say? People start showing up at about 10 o'clock. Now other people should show up. Maybe Miss Mud Duck will show up. Jasmine, Feather, Drunken Wizard. I don't know. All right. So I'm not exactly sure why Moses is repeating all this again. I have no idea why Moses would repeat any of this. If they're writing it down and they wrote it down the first time, like it really seems like Moses is just delaying the inevitable. God should have never told him that he was going to unsubscribe him from his own YouTube. I don't know. I kind of feel bad for Moses, though. God should have never told him. God should have never told him. So, now we're going on to chapter 16. Observe the month of April and celebrate Dead Baby Day to the Lord your God. For in the month of April, the Lord your God brought you out of Egypt by night before the sacrifice of the Passover to the Lord your God from the flock and the herd and the place where the Lord God chose to put his name. You shall eat no fluffy bread with it. 7 days you cannot eat fluffy bread. That is the bread of affliction. For you came out of the land of Egypt in haste. Yeah, but you didn't have to, though. Y'all motherfuckers could have been ready, and God told y'all to be ready. It's your own fucking fault you don't get fluffy bread. Fuck off. That you may remember the day that you came out of Egypt because y'all wasn't prepared on purpose. All the days of your life because y'all weren't prepared on purpose. There's a lesson in that. And no fluff shall be seen among you or in your territory for 7 days, nor shall any of the meat which you sacrifice the first day at twilight remain until morning. So you make dinner at twilight. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Don't forget to chat in the chat and press like and subscribe. But please chat in the chat. I love interacting with people. Okay. You may not sacrifice the Passover with any of your gates, which the Lord gives you, but at the place where the Lord your God chose to make his name. There you shall sacrifice for celebrate Dead Baby Day at twilight, at the going down of the sun, but not like the Elton John George Michael's. You can't let it go like that. Actually, it would be exactly like that. Don't let the sun Go down on your meat. Don't let the sun. You sacrificed all this meat. Something like that. It's something like that. See, I've got a Roddy. Yeah. Look, we can do that. We can make that song. Look, you know it. Look, Big A. Listen, Big A. You're okay. Don't cry. Look, it's not that deep. I know I can't sing, but I do it anyway. All the other church people do it, and they surely can't sing. But they do it. Why can't I do it? Because you suck. No, I only suck a little bit. Listen, get over it. Okay. I'm in big trouble. Okay. Okay. You sacrifice the Passover at twilight, at the going down of the sun. At the time you came out of Egypt, on the 14th of April, by the way, and you shall roast and eat it in the place which the Lord your God chooses. And in the morning you shall turn and go to your tents. 6 days you will eat unfluffy bread, and on the seventh day there will be a sacred assembly to the Lord. You shall do no work on it. You shall count 7 weeks for yourself. Begin to count the 7 weeks from the time you begin to put the sickle to the grain. Then you shall keep the feast of weeks to the Lord your God, with the tribute, a free will offering from your hand. This when you give them bedazzled guns and shit, which you shall give as the Lord your God blesses you. You shall rejoice before the Lord, and you, your sons, and your daughters, and all your servants, the Levite, the stranger, all those fucking people who are among you at the place where the Lord your God chose to make his name. And you shall remember that you were a slave, and you shall be careful to observe these statutes. Yeah, if you're behind, watch it 2 times speed. I'm way better at 2 times speed. Isn't it funnier? So much funny. You shall observe the feast of tabernacles 7 days when you have gathered from your threshing floor and your winepress, and you shall rejoice in your feast, you, your son, all the people, and the Levite will celebrate within your gates. 7 days you will keep a sacred feast in the place where God chose, because the Lord your God will bless you and all your produce and in all the work of your hands, so that surely you rejoice. 3 times a year, all your males will appear before the Lord in the place which he chooses at the feast of unfluffy bread, the feast of weeks, and the feast of tabernacles, and they will not appear empty handed. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord your God, which he has given you. You shall appoint judges and officers in all the gates, which the Lord your God gives you, according to your tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment. And you shall not pervert justice, you American Supreme Court. You shall not show partiality, nor take a bribe from stinky ass Democrats. For a bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and twist the words of the righteous or the wicked. It also does that to wicked people also. You shall follow what is altogether just, that you may live and inherit the land which God is giving you. You shall not plant for yourself any tree as a wooden image near the altar which you build for yourself to the Lord your God. So don't put crucifixes next to your altar. Oh, people, quit watching. Oops. I did something. Oh. Man. Okay. Chapter 17. Wait, hold on. What is that?
Just like this book of stuff.
Read shit, I don't know to read it.
What? Say.
Chapter
17.
just like this book of stuff.
Singing shit I've already read.
What? Say.
We're only on chapter
17. Haha. See what I'm saying? I'm Gottarati. Gottarati's in the house. Raise the roof. Gottarati. I'm Gottarati. Yeah. I'm Gottarati. I'm sorry. But it's just too funny to pass up. Just I was doing something. What was I doing? Oh, I'm reading chapter 17. That's right. Here we go.
You shall not sacrifice to the Lord your God bulls or sheep, anything that has a blemish or a defect, because God wants the weirdos to live. He gives no fucks about perfect. He's like, get rid of the perfect, keep the weirdos. See what I'm saying, you happy ass sheep dressed like wolves? God's keeping us. Yeah. He's like, keep the weirdos. Okay. If there is found among you with any of your gates, which God gives you, a man or a woman who has been wicked in the sight of God and transgressing his covenant, who has gone and served other gods and worshiped them, either the sun or the moon. They have a feast to the moon. They literally have a feast to the moon. There's literally a feast to the moon. This is what I don't understand. Why keep this in here if there's a feast to the moon? Okay. Worshipped either the sun or the moon or any host of heaven, which I have not commanded. And so it is told to you, and you hear of it. Then you shall inquire diligently. And if it is indeed true and certain that such an abomination has been committed, then you shall bring out to your gates that man or woman who has committed that wicked thing, and shall stone to death that man or woman with stones. Whoever is deserving of death shall be put to death on the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. He shall not be put to death on the testimony of 1 witness. The hands of the witnesses shall be the first against him to put him to death, and afterward the hands of all the people. So you shall put the evil thing away from you. Let me put this here. Yeah. If a matter arises which is too hard for you, between degrees of guilt for bloodshed, or one judgment or another, whatever it is, whatever the cause of controversy within your gates, then you shall rise up and go to the place which God chose, and you shall come to the priests, the Levites, and the judge there in those days, and inquire of them, and they shall pronounce upon you the sentence of judgment. You shall do according to the sentence which they pronounce upon you in that place which the Lord chose. And you shall be careful to do according to the sentence of the law in which they instruct you, according to the judgment which they tell you. You shall do and not turn aside from the right or left the sentence they pronounce upon you. Now, the man who acts presumptuously and will not heed to the priest who stands to minister there before the Lord, or the judge, that man shall die. So you shall put away the evil from you, and all the people shall bear and fear, and no longer act presumptuously. When you come to the land which the Lord your God is giving you, and possess and dwell in it, and say, I will set a king over me, like all the nations that are around me. This. I need to drink my coffee right now. This is too much for me. It's crazy. Here we go. And you say, I want a king over me like the nations that are around me. You shall surely set a king over you, whom the Lord your God chose, one from among your brethren. You shall set as king over you. You may not set a foreigner over you, who is not your brother, but he shall not multiply horses for himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt to multiply horses for the Lord. Okay, so he's not going to set up horses for himself. He's going to set up horses for the Lord. You shall not return that way again, neither shall he multiply wives for himself. That's a rule they don't follow. Lest his heart turn away, shall he greatly multiply, nor shall he greatly multiply silver and gold for himself. They also don't listen to that. Also, it shall be, when he sits on the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write for himself a copy of this law in a book from the one before the priests and the Levites, and it shall be with him, and he shall read it all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, and be careful to observe all the words of this law and these statutes, that his heart may not be lifted above his brothers, that he may not turn aside from the right, from the commandment to the right or to the left. That's where I am. And that he may prolong his days, he and his children, in the midst of his kingdom. Caught up. See, how does that feel to be caught up? Hi, everybody. Welcome. Like and subscribe and chat in the chat because we love interacting with you. So, what do you think so far? I was hoping people were going to show up. Normally they show up. I wonder why. They're not. Hey, Tony, you're on Facebook. Pop over to my YouTube. Here, I'll give you a link. Since you've abandoned me. Why is that damn song stuck in my head? Look, that song is horribly stuck in my head right now. That Walking on Broken Glass song. Walking on broken glass. That song needs to get out of me. Tony. Okay. There. Now I can. That is a banger, ain't it? God does love weirdos, man. We're his favorite fucking people. And we're Jesus' favorite fucking people too. Jesus would hang out with us before he'd hang out with any church person. And Jesus would even hang out in the party pen. And more than likely, he'd sit on the floor. Tony, I sent you my YouTube. You can come and chat with my cousin. And the ladies should be coming shortly. And also Drunken Wizard. And maybe this lady called Crazy. What was her name? Crazy Deb. Something. It was something. But Crazy was in her name. And yeah. Okay. We're going to go to chapter 18. And Godarade's going to sing it to you. Because God's feeling totally left out. So he's going to narrate the song for you. Are you ready?
Chapter 18. I think I know what it said. Chapter 18. It's shit we already read. Chapter 18. This shit is so fucking fun. and I'm never gonna be done. Chapter 18. Clap for me. Clap for me. Clap for me. Thank you. Thank you. Hold all roses, please. I will encore later.
I love God. God has so much ADD. It's my absolute favorite. Well, you know what? I'm just saying weirdo. I'm just saying weirdo. You know, because we're fucking weirdos. I am more than just creative. I am extremely eccentric's not even a word for me. Anthony Sigmund. Hello. God is so funny and he's got ADHD. Look, did you just hear God's song? God was literally singing Alice Cooper. Like he gives no shits about changing the words to that song. I love that guy. Okay. So now I want to welcome you, Anthony. I am Saint Nikki K. It's a pleasure having you here. I am your super stone sage. Would you like a nickname? We can give you a nickname if you want one. Okay, we're on chapter 18. The priests, the Levites, all the tribe of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with the vampires. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire and his portion. Therefore, they shall have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance, as he said to them. And I wonder if that's because Moses is a Levite. Nighthawk. I can call you that. Yeah, Nighthawk. That's so cool. I wish that was my name. Nighthawk. No, I'm the saint of awesome. You can be Nighthawk. Oh, it's you. Okay. Yeah. Everybody, me, my friend Tony. Well, we'll call him Nighthawk. Me, my friend, and Nighthawk, me, my cousin Ricky down there. The girl should show up soon. There's also Drunken Wizard. He goes by the name CNA Productions. There's 7 of them. On one account. It's completely amazing. And I'm hoping they show up because they're the whole reason I'm wearing this wig. Okay. Now again, I think the tribe of Levi, because Moses and Aaron are Levites. So I think maybe because Moses and Aaron were so special that God just took the whole tribe and like, you know what? Moses tribe, you get the ghetto. Okay. And this shall be the priest due from the people, from those who offer a sacrifice, whether it's bull or sheep, they shall give to the priest the shoulder, the cheeks, the stomach, the first fruits of your grain and your new wine and your oil, the first of your fleece of your sheep you shall give him. For the Lord your God has chosen him out of all your tribes to stand and minister in the name of the Lord, and him and his sons forever. So So, if a Levite comes from any of your gates, from where he dwells among all the vampires, and comes with all the desire of his mind to the place which he chose, God chose, then he may serve in the name of the Lord his God, as all his brethren and the Levites do, who stand there before the Lord. They shall have equal portions to eat, besides what comes from the sale of his inheritance. He has no inheritance. How can he sell it? What is happening? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Nice to meet you, good sir. That's so cool. Okay. He's gonna sell his. Okay. When you come into the land which God is giving you, you shall not learn to follow the abominations of those nations. The abomination of the nation. I don't know. There shall not be found among you anyone who makes his sons or daughters pass through the fire, or one who practices witchcraft, or soothsayer, or one who interprets omens, or a sorcerer, of one who conjures spells, a medium, a spiritualist, or one who calls up the dead. We'll hear about that. And it's actually a God guy that can do that. It's actually pretty wild because there's people that want to kill him, but he doesn't die. And then when he does die, the king's like, I need to see the dead guy. It's a whole thing. For all who do these things are an abomination to the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord your God drives them out from before you. You shall be blameless before the Lord. For these nations which you will dispossess, listen to soothsayers, diviners. But as for you, the Lord your God has not appointed such for you. The Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from your midst, from your brothers. Him you shall hear, according to all you desired of the Lord in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, God sounds like a trumpet, and it's super happy music, and we can't hear God's trumpet anymore. And the Lord said, what they have spoken is good. I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their brethren. I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all I command him. And it shall be that whoever will not hear my words which he speaks in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet who presumes to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or who speaks in the name of other gods, that prophet shall die. And if you say in your heart, how shall we know? When a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, if the thing does not happen or come to pass, that thing which the Lord has not spoken, The prophet has spoken it presumptuously. You shall not be afraid of him. Well, there you go. I can't stay. Okay, bye, Tony. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please press the like button. So, what do you think, Ricky? Nobody's showing up. I was hoping. Man, this is like the third day in a row. Nobody showed up. No, second day in a row. Nobody showed up. They'll show up. Okay. No, we're at an hour. We're at an hour. All right. Well, then I'll go ahead and hop off here because nobody else is showing up. I love you guys. I'm waiting for you. Okay. I'm going to assume you love me. And I will be back tomorrow. Good night.